Crystalline Glaze pieces, and you just have to hear this sound. So here we go, Mud Ball 2020.
Excellent. And remember, you can bid on that as an auction item and start your next party after COVID with a bang.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, all right. So I'm Jennifer Martin, Executive Director of the Clay Studio, and I'm happy to welcome you to our virtual Mud Ball this evening. It should be interesting for sure. Our whole staff, led by our development team, Tracy Siegel and Nadia Colson, have planned an awesome event for us tonight.
And I'm Jay-Z, or Jennifer Zwilling, Curator of Artistic Programs. We have definitely worked really hard to turn lemons into lemonade for you this year. This event is going to be really fun and raise the funds we need to keep the Clay Studio doing our important work for the next year.
I'm Tracy Siegel. Hello to any of you who have not met me. I'm excited to let you know that we have raised $82,000 so far between sponsorship, ticket sales, and pre-bidding. We are hoping to blow away our $95,000 goal tonight. I know you can help us do that. Thank you.
Okay, so tonight would not be possible. Thank you, Tracy, and thank you for everyone who's already contributed. So tonight would not be possible without our sponsors. So yeah, let's thank those guys tonight. So we have the Reinvestment Fund,
En Route Marketing and PR,
Marianne Conley,
Penn Treaty Special Services District,
Linda Jacobson,
the Caymans family,
Franz Rabar, and Cursive Sotheby's International Realty,
Fury Design, I know they're here,
Susan Muller,
Clark Hill,
D3 Development Real Estate,
Feast Your Eyes Catering,
L&L Kilns,
Marathon Printing,
Love City Brewing.
Slow and Low,
Speaking of which, we have our cocktails right here.
500 Walnut,
Bailey Pottery,
Kathy Reagan Dalzell.
and last but not least, David Seltzer.
Thanks, everyone.
So we have a schedule packed with fun tonight.
You have a few more minutes to vote for your favorite to win the wheel battles. Voting will be open through GiveSmart for a few more minutes. When the first battle begins, voting closes around 7:15.
Okay, here's how this works. If you guess the winner correctly, you'll be placed in a special raffle to win a set of bowls by artist Elizabeth McLaughlin. We'll pull the winner at the final wheel battle.
You can keep buying raffle tickets until we pull the last raffle. That'll be around 8:00 p.m. We have some amazing raffle prizes, so go buy more tickets.
And we're going to be hearing from artists and community members as to why they feel like the Clay Studio deserves your support.
And we'll tell you more about these impressive auction items, including live special guest appearances from Linda Lopez and Roberto Lugo. The auction items are open until 9 p.m.
Okay, so log into GiveSmart and vote for your wheel battles, and all proceeds tonight help us keep the Clay Studio wheels turning all year long.
Buy raffle tickets and bid on auction items. Your bids and purchases help us support artists at every level, from young students to professionals.
And if you're like me and you're going to need some assistance, we have someone. You're going to call the Clay Studios main line. You're going to dial extension 13, and someone is going to help you.
Don't hesitate.
All right, so let's get this started. This evening started with some nice words from a longtime supporter and artist, Corey Weiser-Vahey.
Hi, I'm Corey Weiser-Vahey. I'm one of the associates. I don't know what I would do without the Clay Studio. Our community here, the support, the things I've learned, the bodies of work I've been able to create would not be possible without your help. Thank you so much for being here for the Clay Studio and supporting the Mud Ball. We love you. We love our community, and we love where we come from.
People. Oh, I hear something. I hear it. And sorry about those technical difficulties, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. As Jen has said a couple times, it's 2020, so you might just have to bear
Anything
with
can
us.
happen. All right, so let's hear from artist and volunteer Janet Samuel.
Hi, Mudballers. My name is Janet Samuel. I'm an artist who's worked in various media, but when I found the joy of porcelain, I was hooked. This community is so important to me and has been a vital part of my life for the past 10 years. Thank you again for being here tonight, because without you and your loyal support, most of the things I love about the Clay Studio would not be possible. Here's to the success of Mudball 2020.
Thank you so much, Janet. We are so lucky to have Janet helping with our archive project and for all of our amazing volunteers here at the studio.
Yeah, our volunteers and donors help keep the Clay Studio going. Speaking of which, we had lots of people, wonderful donors, give to our raffle this year. Tracy, can you show us some of those amazing raffle prizes?
I'd be really happy to show you some of our raffles. This year, Catherine Hackle, a local artist, donated this beautiful bowl for a raffle. Kippo Cronley gave us this really whimsical flask that we paired with local brewer Stateside Vodka. We have these beautiful bowls from Martha Grover that you put almost anything in, but we thought it'd go really well with Franklin Fountain ice cream. And of course, these two beautiful reduction fired pieces that would be perfect in anyone's home. Of course, raffles are available through givesmart.com. Please go to item number 200. That is where you can purchase your raffles, and you can purchase them as an item of 1, 3, or 8. And that puts your name into the raffles for all of the raffles, not just one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. In one moment, we're going to hear from Clarissa Eck, who donated artwork this year.
You know, I remember meeting Clarissa for the first time. She's a perfect example of how you can come into the Clay Studio. She started as an intern, then she was a work exchange, and now she's an associate artist. She's worked so hard, and we're just so proud of her.
She makes amazing work, and we're excited to announce that she's having a solo exhibition this February.
My name is Clarissa. I am an associate artist here at the Clay Studio. I began my internship here in 2017 with the hopes of finding myself a hobby, but I left the work exchange program with a career in clay. And I believe I owe my ceramics practice to the Clay Studio, because the Clay Studio provided me a space as a young artist without a barrier to entry, where I could come and use the wheels, I could learn, I could take a class, I could learn from incredible individuals, teachers, and artists at all levels of their ceramic practice. And this is something I didn't think I could do after my formal education in art. The Clay Studio did provide me that space and did provide me that opportunity, and has been a really incredible source of support for me throughout my growth as an artist. And, you know, I deeply appreciate this institution, and I always want us to be better and more equitable. I truly believe that the Mud Ball is a very big part of that. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Clarissa.
And now we're ready for round 1 of our wheel battles. I hope you all enjoy it. I think it's ready for a national audience.
All right, guys, who's ready for a wheel battle? 8 competitors enter the square circle that's actually a wheel, where only one is going to come out victorious. Round 1 bracket, we're gonna see who can throw the widest bolt. Up first, we've got Jen, the Boss Lady Martin, versus Raymond, Laser Ray Rourke. All right, contestants, you got 3 minutes on the clock, starting now. All right, already off to a quick start. Jen Martin, the Boss Lady, looking to bring down the hammer on Laser Ray over here. Raymond, he's getting it set up kind of to make like a more of a V-shaped bowl. a very, very good strategy when you're throwing fast and loose like in this kind of competition. Jen's just showing off now, using that rib to compress that lip, bring it wider, going nice and slow. All right, we're doing the final countdown now, guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop those wheels, hands off. All right, let's get this measurement over here. Jen Martin clocking in at an impressive 14.5 inches. Let's see here. Oh, Raymond coming in at 13.5. Jen takes it by an inch. Oh, look at that. Jen is gonna advance on to round 2. Next up, Corinne Cannonball Kula versus Dominique the Bandit Ellis. All right, competitors, 3 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now. Looks like Dominique is going for a short, wider puck. A very good technique if you're going to be going wide instead of tall. Corinne over here with a completely different approach to this. Oh, it does look like she just accidentally pinched off a little bit of clay. Hopefully that wasn't the extra half inch she was going to need. Oh, and we have a spin out, folks. Can Corinne recover from this? It looks like she's tried to pinch it back together. She's fighting that clay now. Oh, it's collapsed. Oh, no. Oh, that is a full sad plate, ladies and gentlemen. Dominique automatically qualifies. Go ahead and get that measurement anyway. We're going to call that 13.25, 13 inches and a quarter. And Dominique qualifies for the second round. Up next, Josie Bam Bam Bockelman versus Nitsa the Warrior Rosario. All right, contestants, I want a good, clean fight. You got 3 minutes on the clock, and your time starts now. Nitsa going in with a fist technique. It looks like she's used her fist to kind of make a nice little divot. Josie going for a double thumb technique to open up that bowl. That is not something you see every day, folks. Also struggling with a little bit of a unicorn horn in the middle of that bowl. Remember, guys, remember what's at stake here. Honor, glory, lunch, apparently. Hey, Nitsa stopped her wheel. She's done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off the wheel. All right, we got Nitsa the Warrior coming in at a healthy 13.5 inches. That's over a foot. We come over here to Josie. Let's see it. Oh, falling flat by half an inch. 13 inches. Nitsa the winner. This round, we got a pair of Jersey Devils going head to head. Karen Sankis versus Naima Stamp. And your time starts now. Naima over here just ripping that clay open. Oh, and just watch that pull by Naima here. You know, get right in there. You just see that ring of clay rise up to the lip. Absolutely phenomenal. Karen's still working a little bit of an ashtray situation going on down here. I'm not sure how they teach you how to throw an Alfred, but centrifugal force is my enemy. Gotta wait until the last second. How is Karen gonna pull this out? How is she going to regain the considerable lead Naima has on her? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Karen coming out at the very end, a little bit of a cheat. Naima clocking in at 15, almost 6, we're going to call it 16 inches. Naima ripping that record away from Jen Martin. Coming in at a very illegal 19 inches. We're going to go ahead and see. Oh, come on. You can't answer it that way. Why this point? All right, we're going to call that 11.5 inches from Karen. Jen, Dominique, Nitsa, and Naima will advance to round 2, where they battle to see who can make the tallest cylinder. Oh,
Well, that was fun. All right. So I'm sorry if your votes are already out, but you know what? You should have voted on somebody that's a winner. So yeah, there you go.
That's some pretty strong talk from you, Jen Martin. But I'm just relieved that my pick got to the next round. Did yours?
All right. So I'm excited to show off some of this beautiful artwork that we have here in front of us, surrounding us. And we are so lucky that these artists donated. So tell us about it.
Well, first I want to start out with all of these shiny things. There's so much gold luster on this pedestal. I know people like shiny things, so make sure you get your votes in on these.
Yes. So we already have several bids on this Melissa Midi serving dish, and it is just so gorgeous. Not only does it have a little bling here around the edges, but her process for glazing is just so laborious, and it's just these layers and layers and layers of glaze. I know that everyone will want to get their hands on this piece.
It's really pretty. These gold bars are by Nick Lenker. So he does a process with these amazing computer generated decals that he makes, and they even have extra bling around the outside if you didn't have enough from the gold bar. Nick was the NCECA Emerging Artist last year, and as we speak, he's on his way to the Alfred University Museum to install his solo show.
And if you have not had enough of gold and bling bling in your life, and you know what, look, it's 2020, we could all use a little bling bling this year, you know, to get us through. We have Theo Giuliano's vase here. It's just so gorgeous and just dripping in gold and layers of information. And Theo was actually highlighted this month in Ceramics Monthly. Huge article written on him.
That's so cool. And I think this piece was actually featured, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was.
That's so great. So this beautiful sake set by Yoko Sakino Beauvais is really going to turn any takeout sushi night into a magical evening. I highly recommend this one.
I was going to say, let's hear a few words from Yoko. We have a video.
Cool.
So what I was learning ceramics and living in Paula State, Clay Studio was a beacon or the star far, far away. It was my dream that tried to get to reach to that level, and then that it became a milestone. It was a great honor to be a part of the Clay Studio, and it still is almost like a mentor to many artists they can aim at.
Thank you so much, Yoko.
We're excited for Yoko's solo exhibition right here at the Clay Studio this December. I really love that she talks about how the Clay Studio went from a goal as a young artist to a milestone in her mid-career, and now she feels like we're a partner in her artistic career.
Absolutely.
That's exactly the role that we hope to play in artists' lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, are we ready to pull some raffles?
I'm not sure. Let's check in with Tracy about that.
Yes, we are. Our outside auditor has gotten us the name for our first winners. Congratulations for item number 210, address plaques, Lisa Cohn and Judy Pote.
Ooh.
Number 206, A Year of Green, goes to our staff member and friend, Maria Albornoz.
Oh, yes.
Number 212, What's Up, Doc? Bugs Bunny Watch with a Ken Biedler bowl, goes to Jody Bockelman. I guess you'll just have to take that as consolation for not making it to the next round of the mud ball.
And you can keep bidding and buying raffle tickets.
Absolutely. So Jennifer, part of your role here is to work really closely with the resident artists. So they were so generous to donate tonight. So can you tell us a little bit about this work?
Absolutely. And I think the fact that they were willing to donate really means that the Clay Studio means a lot to them.
Absolutely.
So the first two I want to highlight are two artists who actually just left the residency program to move on to their next step. One is Yeram Lee, and she is now going to be a resident at the Archie Bray in Montana. That's really exciting. This is a beautiful bowl with an iridescent glaze, which is very pretty. And then we have this very cool vase by Joshua Hebert, who has just moved on to have his own studio, and he's staying right here in Philadelphia, which we're excited about.
So I'm going to highlight Nate here. So Nate Willover is an artist. He digs his own clay. So it's local to Philadelphia. Like if you have no idea, like he's not just dialing it in and ordering up his clay. He's literally digging the clay out of the ground and processing it right here in our studio.
That is so cool.
And then sort of a contrast to Nate's work, which is wood fired here, is our talented artist, Jacob Rader. He's a resident artist. And Jacob is really experimenting with multiple surfaces on his form. And this piece is actually brought on a lot of conversations between the staff of, you know, if this was in our home, like what kind of shade we would put on it and where it would go. So it's a great conversation piece for sure. And we're just so thankful for this donation.
Yeah, Jacob's work is really forward-thinking and wonderful. And it does turn on, if anyone's wondering. I'm going to highlight this Kevin Snipes right here. Kevin is another one of our new resident artists that's joining the program. And we were just actually talking to him on an earlier Zoom. This is my second Zoom of the day. And Kevin was talking about how his work really explores communication and how the fact that these images are on different sides kind of talks about sometimes the barriers that are between us, but how we can make connections. And that is really what he's hoping to do here at the Clay Studio. We're excited about that. I also want to show off Ruth Easterbrook's server. And she is such a skilled thrower. She's made this lid so that when it sits down, you take it off and it sits down on the table. It can really be its own plate. You can see how beautiful that is.
And
Ruth,
she's a new resident, right?
yes, Ruth is also a new resident, and she is the Zeldin Fellow this year. Last year's Zeldin Fellow, Stephanie Cantor. This is a piece that she donated from her solo exhibition that was called Rosewater.
What is a Zeldin Fellow?
That is a good question, Jennifer. Sibylla Zeldin was a resident herself, and she really understands the importance of getting enough support so that when you're in your first year, you can focus on your studio. So she has been amazingly generous and donated so that one resident gets a stipend for their first year each year.
Wow.
It's really great.
Thank you, Sibylla, and we have to support these artists for sure.
Yeah, and
So-
Stephanie is, we're actually going to hear from her now in another video so she can tell us about the importance of the Clay Studio residency.
Great.
I'm Stephanie Cantor. I am an artist in residence at the Clay Studio. The residency program is up to 5 years, and it's in the heart of Philadelphia, and there's not a lot of other residencies that are in an urban environment, so that was really appealing to me. With ceramics, we really, we kind of thrive in community because equipment is shared. We bounce ideas off one another, so it's a very kind of fruitful place to make work.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. We really appreciate everything that you've done for the Clay Studio and your support. So Jennifer, tell me about this very special table we have.
This is a really special one, and we're so honored to have a Paula Whitaker table. Paula Whitaker unfortunately left us too soon, about 2 years ago. We were so lucky to have her as part of our Philadelphia art community. She was incredibly generous to many, and she was a personal friend and mentor of mine. She was a mentor as a woman and as a mother in the arts, as well as being a model of a great artist, making important and meaningful work. She dedicated the last half of her career to making work that exposed her concern for climate change. She used her chosen medium, which was porcelain, in a really unique way that not too many people do. And in this way, she really replicates what an iceberg looks like so that we can think about the precarious nature of the icebergs at this time, and also have a moment of hope. I feel like the beauty of the piece really elevates it and makes us hopeful that we can make a change and make a difference in the world.
Yeah, and the technical abilities are just sort of unbelievable. If you've ever worked with porcelain or the clay, like this is just incredible a piece. So let's hear directly from Paula in her own words. This next film was lovingly produced by her son.
Well, I hope that they will say that it is beautiful. I think that beauty is something that in a lot of ways today artists aren't necessarily that interested in, but I still am. So I guess that's going to go flat to the wall like that. I'm working big with the material that really doesn't want to be big. Ooh, I think it may just make it. I like the whiteness of it. I like the intrinsic quality of it. So this is the end right here. And that piece is probably like here. I think that's right. I've been doing work relating to the environment for the past 10 years at least. So this is the glacier coming down into a lagoon. My concern for the environment is the way human beings currently are mistreating the environment. Nature is so beautiful, so fragile, and so easily disturbed. Ice is breaking off from the ice sheets in Greenland. Glaciers are calving, and scientists are telling us that the climate is changing. The part of my mission is to make these pieces, bring them into the gallery space, and provide an inspiration for people to reflect on how they, in particular, are affecting the environment and what they can possibly do about it. It was comforting to be able to make a piece and stand in front of it and feel that I was having a visceral response to this actual work. And I hope that the audience will have that kind of response.
Hearing her voice is so moving. She really is one of our treasures and important legends. This artwork going to a good home and supporting the Clay Studio will be so special and really extend the legacy that she deserves.
Yes, we thank you guys for everyone who's voting on this object and all of our amazing auction items tonight. Let's just take a little break and maybe we'll pull some raffles.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to announce that number 211, Out and About, a beautiful set of bowls and some passes to area attraction, goes to Kim Kamens. Number 204, Tea for Two, is going to Anna Jimenez. Number 208, Good Morning Sunshine, featuring beautiful mugs by former resident artist Roberta Masick and Elixir Coffee, is going to Audrey Ang. And number 209, For Your Home, these beautiful vessels are going to Carol Ventura. Congratulations to all of our winners. Very, very lucky. And we have some more raffles to pull, so you can still purchase tickets.
Congratulations to those winners. I'm jealous.
Yeah. Well, now you can see if your wheel battle vote gets to the final round. Here is round 2 of our wheel battles.
Round 2 is going to be all about who can do the tallest cylinder. They're going to have to pay attention and conserve their height. If they get too skinny too fast, it's going to fall over. Up first, we've got Naima versus Nitsa the Warrior Rosario. All right, you guys have made it to the second round. Go ahead. Oh, that's very, very sportsmanlike. All right, this competition, tallest cylinder, and your time starts now. All right. Centrifugal force is not going to be so much of a problem in this competition. It's all going to be about how high they can go. Naima's starting to open that up. She seems not just to be a Jersey Devil, but also a speed demon. That is a very fast spinning wheel you got there, Naima, especially compared to Nitsa. And look at that excellent pull by Nitsa all the way up to the lip. Naima with the touch of a butterfly as she gets up to that lip, making sure she's not throwing that too off center. Now going in for a little bit of a collaring. That's very good to like preserve your clay. The wider it is, the less clay you have to work with to get it tall. All right, here we got Nitsa. Slowly but surely inching her way up. Naima just taking off like a rocket.
Oh, damn.
Nick's a little intimidated. A little intimidated by the competition. Oh, Naima, manually adjusting her wheel pedal with her hands, going on cruise control now as she stands up. Very dramatic performance by Naima, and just watch that pull. Watch as that little ribbon of clay goes up, up, up. Now Naima again with the collaring, just getting more and more height on that thing. All right, we got 10 seconds left, folks. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, a last pull, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop it. She wants me to make sure I have a good spot on that tallest peak. Nitsa clocking in at with 10.5 inches. Naima with 15 inches is our winner and qualifies for the finals. Congratulations, both of you. Next up, Dominique the Panda Ellis versus Jen the Boss Lady Martin. This is going to decide who goes on to the finals. I want a clean match out of both of you. I'm talking to you, Bandit. All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now. Jen, the first to open. I'm still working on getting that thing centered. But you know, the more time you spend at the beginning centering your piece, the better off you are once you get pretty powerful. Oh, and an expert pull by Jen Martin. Oh, you love to see it, folks. Absolutely masterful. Dominique here, you can see that ribbon is still pulling up. Oh, got a little bit of a wonk in that cylinder now. Bandits love wonking it. Jen Martin absolutely dominating the field right now. Compressing that lip, very important. The more stable your lip, the more likely you are to be able to, oh, she just splashed water on her whole arm. Cool, calm, and collected boss lady, just pulling that ribbon of clay right up to the top. Seems to be a sponge thrower. 10 seconds on the clock. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And at the very end, Jen Martin with a collar. Dominique with 9 inches, very respectable. All right, oh, and the crowd goes crazy. Jen Martin absolutely dominating with 13 inches. Congratulations, Jen Martin, you're going on to the finals. In round 2, Naima destroys Nitsa and Jen holds off Dominique for the win. Naima again dominates with a record-setting 13 inches for the tallest cylinder. Tune into our next episode to see who will win it all.
Wow. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. I didn't think Enwin was going to really be able to knock you out before the final round. So we're pretty excited to see what happens next.
We just paid you to say that, right? Yeah. Okay. So I got to tell you, stiff competition here, a lot of talented staff. So stay tuned. We'll see who wins.
We'll see.
Yeah. So now we have a special guest. So we want to hear from Roberta Lugo, award-winning artist, Clay Studio board member, and head of ceramics at Tyler School of Art.
And this moment where I started to work with ceramics was the first time that people walked up to me and said, hey, you're really good at this thing. And that encouragement really made me pursue, this new thing that felt sort of like I wasn't supposed to be doing it. And so for me, when I say pottery saved my life, I think more about the fact that it gave me an opportunity to do something other than what the world gave me in terms of opportunity. It gave me an opportunity to create my own path. Clay really offers us an opportunity to sort of get rid of our ego and work in a community and get to understand each other. So I think it can make a lot of change in places where people otherwise wouldn't be open to it. I think my most special moment with the Clay Studio was going into a juvenile detention center with a couple of the folks that teach here, and being reminded of what it was like to be a teenager in Philadelphia and around other people who were just looking for a reason to start a fight with you. And I'm making pottery alongside these people who are locked up, these young men. And I'm making a pot, and I'm talking about what it is that I do for a living. And I say, I teach at a college and I teach people how to make things with clay. And he says, well, how much is that thing worth? And I say, well, I mean, if I make a cup, I can probably sell it for $100. And he looks at me like, do you know what I have to do to make $100? And I said, well, you can make pottery. He's like, can I come and work for you? And it was this really incredible moment where I saw firsthand where when giving any opportunity, you know, folks can excel. And so I think the opportunity to make clay, quite literally, you can make anything. You know, it's sort of this really malleable material. But more precisely, I think clay is this thing that we walk on, that, you know, we sort of spit on, and it's just underneath our feet all day. And there's this opportunity to take that same dirt and turn it into something beautiful that people want to live with, that people want to eat out of. I mean, ceramics has been used by anthropologists to tell us the stories of all the cultures past. And for us not to have representation in that same form is really a shame. And so for me, not only do I get to represent as a maker, but I also get to represent in the people that I pay homage to in the work itself. For me, it really just feels like when I make something with clay that's going to last thousands of years, my life meant something. And that's really special.
Hey, Rob.
Hi.
What an inspiration. Thank you so much for being our first live special guest tonight. Thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here, especially in these tough times to see. Oh, and I love the clay battle. That is so cool. I'm like learning all sorts of new things. So keep it going.
Who do you think's going to win, Rob?
I don't know. I don't know if I can say it because the boss is here right now. So, you know, I don't want.
Rob, it's pretty different from last year, right? When we were all partying together.
Yeah, it is different. But, you know, one of the amazing things about this time is it's made me realize how resilient artists are and how we figure out how to keep doing what we're doing regardless of what's happening in the world. And so kudos to you for creating this event and still giving us a voice. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Rob, listen, this is a special piece and we are so grateful to have it. It's mixed media. Like a lot of people might not know that. So I just want to talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. So I got this idea from meeting an organization called Unload in Connecticut, where they actually purchase guns back from the streets, and they give those materials to artists to do different things with them. And one of the things about being from where I'm from Kensington in Philadelphia, and you know, I tend to like look at things as opportunities. You know, one of the claims that I make with my work is that ghetto is another word for resourceful. So where somebody looks at a gun barrel and sort of sees that edge, I think of it, you know, if it's cut bias at an angle, it reminds me very much of like when I am extruding or when I'm hand building a spout for a teapot. And so making these connections through the process in my work, as well as putting it together aesthetically to make sense on a pot. So the actual spout on this pot is from a gun barrel, and the actual handle on this pot is actually from a gun trigger. The portrait that's on the pot is of Philadelphia's own Black Thought, whose name is Tariq Trotter, who I have the honor of working with on a mural in Philadelphia. And this has been somebody who's really inspired me throughout my life. But when I met them in real life, one of the things that I found so amazing was how humble and down to earth he was, and how he didn't feel the need to make me understand how special he was. He just interacted with me just like an everyday person. And the thing that I love about his work and what he does with lyrics is he really communicates about a lot of social issues that are really relevant, and also expands the dialogue of what hip hop does. And so with my work, I often work to represent and honor people of color who have historically been underrepresented within the visual arts. And so this is a great opportunity to be able to make all these connections together by putting somebody who I wanted to honor on it, and also repurposing this guns with the notion that, you know, maybe we can rethink the way that we look at materials. And in this particular pot, maybe the teapot itself isn't functional, but I think that the way that it functions is as a conversation piece. And, you know, that's really how I look at tea culture, as a way for us to be able to sit down and maybe have conversations we otherwise wouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have been so honored to work with you in the past. You say conversation. We had our great Clay and Conversations project in Kensington a couple of years ago, and we're so grateful that you helped us with that. And we really are excited to work with you and continue to partner as we move the Clay Studio into Kensington.
Yes, and one of the things I just quickly want to say, one of the things that the Clay Studio does that a lot of people don't know about isn't the things that you see when you go into the place and you see the beautiful work, and sometimes you get to meet the artist. It's the day in and day out grind of being able to break down barriers and give people opportunities that they will otherwise never have. I mean, I'm seeing the work that they're doing with people in juvenile detention centers and elementary schools, and all these people's lives are being changed by the work that these folks are doing. So I'm more than honored to be able to donate work and work with you in any capacity. But I just really wanted all the viewers to know that there are so many things that the Clay Studio does that they are too humble to admit for our community. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. You know, it's all about the layers, right? You got to peel through the layers. You got to get to know each other, and
that's right.
There's a lot of layers. So I appreciate you donating this piece, and it has a lot of layers. So thanks, man.
You're welcome. All right, take care, everybody.
Thanks, Rob. Have a good night.
Happy birthday to that little one. Okay, so wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Rob. Again, amazing piece. You know, multimedia here, like there's a lot of depth to this. A lot of auction items to talk about, so we can maybe continue over here to talk about some other auction items.
Sounds great. So first I want to talk about Chris Rogers. Now, Chris is another one of our new resident artists just joining us in September. And this is a piece from his graduate student thesis show. And you can't see the whole thing. And as we've already discovered, I'm not good at basketball, so I'm not going to pick it up for you. But it does have a complete color theory color wheel on there. So it's a rainbow all around. And it's just so beautifully made. And even though it is an orb, it just sits really nicely on that pedestal. So it's super beautiful. Hopefully it'll go to a good home.
And Andrea Marquis, she just left the resident artist program, and I know she's on with us tonight. She was on earlier. Just such a beautiful piece. I love the way Andrea interprets shadows and sort of these living plant lives into her work, and it's just such a strong piece. We're going to miss her in the program, but obviously she's still in Philadelphia, so we'll be able to support her. So
absolutely, and thanks so much for that donation, Andrea. And this one is Takuro Shabbata. I think he might be with us on the call also. Thanks so much for donating this piece. This vessel is three-sided, so it's not your normal vessel that you would find. It took a lot of skill and talent to kind of slab build that together. Takuro and his wife Hitomi are both ceramic artists who moved from Japan to the US. They live in North Carolina, where they dig their own clay and wood fire in their own kilns. So we're really honored to have this really generous donation from Takuro. Thank you.
Such a beautiful piece. And Peter Barber, he just left our resident program. If any of you guys know his work, he typically does not fire the work, but it's always figurative. And we have this head from him tonight that is just gorgeous.
And this one actually is fired. So it is one of his experiments with Egyptian paste, which is a really fascinating historical material. So I hope somebody who thinks about ancient and archaeology and all those ideas can really bring this home.
And last but not least, I'm going to switch over here is Ben Owen, again, North Carolina. So you can sort of see this representation of these two really generous North Carolina potters who donated to us tonight. They're both using crystalline glazes. So, you know, the technical pottery nerd in me wants to tell you all about crystalline glazes and slow cooling and reduction cooling and all of these things, but I won't bore you. But you can really see the variety of a matte surface versus a glossy surface and how different the firing effects can be within the glaze.
They're both just stunning, and you really have to see them in person to truly appreciate the depth of each one of those crystal forms. They're so
Absolutely,
pretty.
yeah. So we've heard from artists, we've heard from volunteers, we've heard from residents, associates. So now it's time to hear from one of our favorite collectors, Franz Rabar, and a vice chair of the board and co-chair of the Mudball Committee.
We're not just a Philadelphia organization, because I had a friend who was in London and she was at an art gallery and fell in love with a piece of ceramic art. And she called me and she's like, have you ever heard of this artist? And I'm like, yes, I have. And she's like, oh, I really love this piece. And she goes, but it's difficult getting it back to the States. And I said, well, had you kept in touch with what was going on at the Clay Studio, you would have realized that that same artist had spent 2 months here as our guest artist resident, or guest, how do you say that? Artist resident. Yes. And you know, here she was right here in our own backyard. So it just goes to show you that the Clay Studio is not just a national organization, it's an international organization. And we've got artists, you know, incredible artists coming from all over the world to spend time with us. And I think that says a lot about what we are and what we're doing.
Thanks, Franz. We really appreciate your support. We love to place artwork in appreciative homes, provide a venue for artists to sell their work and support themselves as they create new work in their studios. Speaking of new work in their studios, we're going to continue with Copal Seth, who is another one of our new residents. If you want to hear more about her, you can go and watch our pre-recorded Zoom from this afternoon. She did a great job.
You were busy today.
I was busy today. So these are 3 porcelain plates that have a print surface that she applied with these images that remind her of a cloudy day in Providence. That's where Copal just finished her master's degree. She's originally from India, and we're excited that she's going to try her hand at Philadelphia.
So I mentioned all of our talented staff earlier. So we have Maria's work here. Maria is really dedicated to our Claymobile program and has been on the staff for a while. And she's actually involved with our new project, Making Place Matter,
That's right.
Sponsored by the Pew Grant. And she made some really beautiful functional cups here, really highly decorated, lots of layers there of information. So again, it seems like layering is the theme tonight.
That's right. Layering and community. That's what we're all about.
That's right.
Paul Eshelman made this amazing casserole. Paul does this super precise, wonderful hand-thrown work that has these really just lustrous glazes, strong colors. And this not only is an amazing casserole, it also, this item comes with a custom recipe that you get to talk to the chef at Cadence Restaurant here in Philadelphia, and he's going to work with you to create your own recipe for what you can make to put in this casserole. That is a super special one.
That's huge. And then we have Charlie Teff's work, who does salt-fired glazeware with some cobalt salt-fired. You can really see that texture in that work. And just a really talented illustrator with animals and birds and themes in the work.
Yeah, these are really peaceful.
Excuse me. So in Franz's video, he mentioned international artists, and you know what? Maybe we have one. So we're excited to welcome Linda Lopez, Clay Studio resident alumni, who has generously donated a major piece for us tonight. We don't have it here, but we're going to get to see it.
Yeah, we're going to see it right in her studio. So first, let's see some footage of Linda in her studio, and then she's going to join us live.
I think I'll just wipe it down and then put black on it. It turns out like this because it doesn't really quite cover up that red clay. But I think if I can get it on there evenly, It just turns shiny.
That's over that clay.
Yeah.
Huh. Try it. It's kind of wild.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a shot. I think that black's going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work. This is a really different surface for me. So I go through waves of not liking it and liking it. I don't really know yet.
So that has like a clear glaze and then a gold luster on top of it.
I'm still trying to understand what I'm trying to say with this new body of work and this exploration of what it means to be Mexican and Vietnamese, which maybe I don't know if I'll ever understand.
I love peeking into artist studios. So we're so thankful to have Linda with us tonight. Linda, I feel like I've known you for a while.
Yeah, it's been 10 years, exactly almost.
It's crazy. I remember when you came to the studio. I kind of remember when you fell in love and left us.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just yesterday I was there. I missed Philadelphia a lot, but now I have this very green background in Arkansas.
It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much for this incredibly generous donation, Linda. And I know congratulations are also in order because the Smithsonian just purchased one of your pieces for their permanent collection. That is quite an honor.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. To be honest, it's one of those things where you never really, I guess I just take it by day, and I never really quite know what to expect with making work. And every day I just keep getting surprised that I just get to live this life of making artwork, which is amazing.
Yeah, it really is so exciting. And each one of your pieces is so unique. I was hoping that you could show us the Husky Dust Fairy, which I see right here in your studio, and talk to us a little bit about why the Clay Studio is important to you.
Yeah, so I'll just start with a little bit talking about the work. So as I mentioned in that video clipping from a few years ago from the PBS documentary, my parents are immigrants. My mom's from Vietnam, my dad's from Mexico. So language was, the English language was really minimal in my childhood. And so for me, like broken English was what I grew up around, and my mom would always kind of animate the inanimate to me. And so the world around me, everything was alive, from the toilet to the carpet to the walls. And the way she would describe things to me just kind of opened up a whole new lens, which I thought everybody saw, but didn't realize it was just me. So for me, like my work is just like an abstraction of the everyday, and being able to kind of see the world through Linda vision, and basically kind of like having empathy for everything around me, and kind of wondering what the histories are, where they're from, and where they want to be. So coming out of graduate school, I just had started thinking of those ideas and actually being able to like have language to those ideas and some research. And so coming to the Clay Studio was like a really amazing launching pad for me. Being able to like come into a community that had open arms and willing to support me, and still support me today. And I still have like an amazing network and amazing friends from the Clay Studio. But most of all, I think the most important thing was like being able to give me the time and space that I needed after graduate school to continue to make work. I did work in Old City too, which was amazing. So kind of like my whole little network and community was there, right there by the Clay Studio.
We are so grateful, Linda, for your piece. And it's just a pleasure to watch you sort of grow as an artist over the years. So yeah, thank you.
I think it's a real testament to all of the people who have come before us at the Clay Studio over the last 46 years, who built this place into a place that has empathy. I love the way you talk about empathy of objects, and that's a word that I try to live my life by, and I think the Clay Studio really represents that as well. And I know that giving this really generous donation shows your empathy. So it's not just your objects that have it, because you know how important it is for other artists to benefit from the generosity of our donors who are bidding on it. And we're so excited that it's going to go to a great home and really enliven somebody else's life.
Absolutely. So
thanks so much, Linda. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all.
thank you, Linda. Have a good
Miss
night.
you guys.
Bye.
You know, it's just so nice to hear from artists and, you know, talk about the community and how they really experience the Clay Studio. And it's just, you know, we have such an alumni network. It's just going and going and going. So yeah, so thank everyone for, and look, in their generosity and how they donated tonight. So it's just really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly really do get chills from just being able to be part of this institution that has so many people who love it and who feel so strongly that they would both donate and also, you know, donate their artwork and then to bid on it and help us to support tonight. So that's it just makes me feel good.
So speaking of feeling good, should we
Yeah.
switch gears to the amazing Claymobile program?
The
that we
Claymobile
have?
makes me feel good, and we hope that you help us raise some funds for it right now. For the next few minutes, we're going to focus on raising funds for the Claymobile program.
So at last year's Mud Ball, obviously very different, we raised over $20,000 for the
Wow.
Claymobile.
Yeah.
And you know what? That money really serves thousands of kids in our region. 3,000, over 3,000 last year alone that we served for our Claymobile. So it's super important to support. And obviously it's easy, it's no brainer. It's the Claymobile, you have to support it.
Yeah, you want to get those kids to be able to have their creative outlet, especially at this time. And we really have been able to transition, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So use Give Smart now to donate to Claymobile as we listen to Nitza Rosario, Community Engagement Assistant, and then one of our young artists who will talk about how important Claymobile is.
So with the schools and organizations today facing budget crisis, let's do what we can to help make sure everyone has access to ceramic arts programming, especially during this difficult time.
My name is Nitza. I help run the Claymobile program. The need for clay to be out into the neighborhood and for our children to have access to this material is really important. Because of the COVID-19, I especially miss the Women Against Abuse site that I was going to every Wednesday night. There, the moms would participate sometimes with the children, and just to see the interaction between the moms and the kids was very special. So I definitely miss my Wednesday nights with the Women Against Abuse site. So we really appreciate your support at this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nitza, so much. So despite being in our current situation with the pandemic, the awesome Claymobile staff got really creative and put together these clay kits to send out so that we could continue to bring this important creative outlet to Philadelphia's youth this year.
Our Claymobile brings a pop-up ceramic studio to your school, neighborhood organization, or social service agency anywhere in the Philadelphia region. So if you donate $3,300, that will fund one 6-week residency.
Our professional teaching artists provide arts education opportunities that use the tactile medium of clay to nurture imagination, critical thinking, and persistence. A donation of $1,000 will fund 2 workshops.
The Clay Studio is rooted in the belief that all people deserve access to high-quality arts education and assumes a strong responsibility to engage all segments of our local community.
Jay-Z, I don't think anyone says it better than our friend Raphael.
I think you're right.
My name is Raphael. I've been attending camp for 3 years. It's fun. I've done pottery and claymation, and I had a lot of fun. And I liked making stuff out of clay.
What's the favorite piece you've made?
Probably my kettle that I made. Thank you for the support, Mud Ballers.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see him again. So many children and adults in the Philadelphia region lack access to arts experiences in their schools and neighborhoods due to budget constraints. We need your support to continue to make a positive impact on the youth and adults in our community.
Thanks to all of you for helping us make a difference. You can keep donating until 9 p.m.
Yes, thank you. We're so grateful for all of you watching and bidding and donating.
We're getting close to the moment you've been waiting for, the final wheel battle. But first, we're going to finish pulling those raffle winners. Tracy, are you ready?
I am ready. Number 203, the beautiful Catherine Hackle Bowl, goes to Lisa Cohn. Congratulations again, Lisa.
Woohoo!
Number 202, the Ice Cream Social, goes to Ruth Easterman. Ruth, you're new to the community. Franklin Fountain is awesome.
Yes.
Number 205, for the Wine Lover, congratulations, Rachel Zimmerman.
Woo!
207, Whiskey Time, which is a nice collection of the whiskey we sent home today, goes to Zabil Zeldin. Number 201, One for the Road, goes to Liz Swanson.
Nice.
And number 213, because we could not bring you mystery cups this year, we did them as a raffle and an auction item. The raffle goes to an excellent cup maker herself, Claire Shank Rogers.
Nice.
Congratulations, everyone. Keep bidding on your auction items, and we'll see you soon.
Wow, I'm pretty jealous. Congratulations to all the winners.
I agree, Jennifer. Even though I didn't win a raffle, thanks a lot, Tracy.
I did my best.
I'm pretty excited about my swag bag and my Jennifer Martin cup. Okay, so without further ado, here's the final wheel battle. Let's see what happens.
Round 3 is finally here. 6 people have been eliminated. This one is going to be for all the marbles. They're going to do another tall cylinder, but this time it's going to have to be blindfolded.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, guys. 3 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now. Now, a lot of people would say, blindfolded wheel throwing? Is that even possible? But they should be able to do this just by feel alone. Jen Martin with an absolute excellent pull. Just top notch. That's what you expect from a wheel battle veteran. Naima, the new kid on the block, but absolutely holding her own. There it is. Oh, watch that pull. As Naima gets up to that lip, you can really dramatically see that clay just all the way to the lip. Absolutely beautiful.
Can we get a clue what the other person's doing?
The wheel throwing.
Thanks, Dennis.
But this is going to be a very close race. The other hard thing about wheel throwing blindfolded against an opponent is you have no idea what they're up to. So you're just going to have to really push yourself. All right, we're down to our 10-second mark. You guys are going to have to start shaping those. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. This is going to be close. 2, 1, and stop those wheels. All right. Very different forms. Both of them, I'm going to say, meet the requirement of bowing out and then coming in a little bit. I like them. So that's really all that matters at the end, right? All right, Naima, the rookie. We got 10.5 inches from Naima. Very good job. Is this your first time going blindfolded? Dang. That was the official stance of the judges. And Jen Martin, the veteran, will that experience help her out 10.5 inches. And you know what that means, folks? One more pull. Who can get it? One more pull.
Without the blindfold?
Without the blindfold. One more pull. Who is going to be able to squeeze that extra little bit of height out of it? One more pull. 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 Jen Martin has just decided to absolutely collar that thing.
You don't get a countdown?
All right, you want a countdown? I'll give you one countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Whoa. Oh, in just a last second spin out from Naima. I hope that does not cost her an inch. All right, a new record for Naima. Coming in at, oh my gosh, that is 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter from Naima, everyone. Very impressive. All right, and the pressure is on. Jen Martin takes it with 13 and a half. Jen Martin, Executive Director, Boss Lady, done it again, another champion. Oh, look at that. Jen Martin, let me be the first to congratulate you on an absolutely amazing last round. How does it feel to be the victor?
Thank you so much, Shannon. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking. I really couldn't see what I was doing, and I knew I was up against stiff competition there.
Did you have any strategy going into that last round?
Just not to make a fool of myself, probably the number one goal in life, just want to make a fool of yourself.
And, I think you succeeded.
Oh, thank you very much.
Naima, first time ever wheel battling.
Yeah, my very first time ever wheel battling.
Did you expect to make it this far into the bracket?
I did.
You did? That is some stunning confidence.
I mean, Jen was the one I had to take down.
Yeah.
I didn't though, so next year I'll get her.
And that's a challenge?
Yeah, that's a challenge.
Oh.
I'm putting it out there. Jen, I'm getting you.
Oh, my. Another wheel battle in the books and the mud ball. Thank you so much for watching. All right.
Well, congratulations, Jennifer. She is the ultimate winner.
Oh my goodness, that was awesome. Okay, so first of all, how can you not laugh at Shannon? Shannon is amazing. And I will say there was some competition from Naima. She did a good job. So
she did, and I know she wants a rematch. So I can't wait until we get to see the next wheel battles 2021 in the new building.
Next year, Mudball in the new building, a date with Naima, a rematch anytime.
All right, tune in next year, everybody. Okay, so all those people who voted for Jen now have a chance to win those amazing Elizabeth McLaughlin bowls. Tracy, do you want to tell us who won that?
We ultimately had 72 people pick Jen as the ultimate winner.
They knew what to do.
And congratulations to Amy Sarmer-Williams as our lucky raffle holder.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you everyone for your vote of confidence. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So as a reminder, you can keep bidding on the auction items and donating to our Claymobile until 9 o'clock tonight.
Thank you so much, everyone. For those of you on Zoom, we will be open. We're opening the event back up to chat in a few moments, so do stay with us.
Yes. And before we do that, we're going to hear a few words from our board chair, Sergio Kosha. He's our board president, and he's also the Building and Business Committee chairperson for some final thank yous.
Hey, Sergio. He's mute. Yup, you're muted.
How's that? Can you hear me now? This is like my 1,000th Zoom call
Oh no, we still can't
of the
hear
month.
No, I can hear him.
Oh.
You can hear me?
Yes.
All right, great. Hi, everybody.
She needs her earpiece in.
One of you, right? Okay. Well, one of you can hear me. That's all that matters. So I'm Sergio Kosha, president of the board, and on behalf of everyone on the board, I want to thank you all for being here and for this terrific evening. Of course, my hat goes off to all the board members who worked hard for this event, especially the staff and all the artists and the organizations whose generosity in contributing items is unparalleled. And a year as challenging as this, in so many ways, with the uncertainties and challenges of COVID that's placed on an organization like the Clay Studio, your support tonight is very critical. Every dollar we raise tonight will sustain Clay Studio programs all year long. And this is an amazing year for TCS, as you can see. So even as we begin a new fall semester of classes at our home in Old City, we're looking forward to all that 2021 has to offer. We can't wait for it to get here. We will see the completion of our new facility this time next fall. Construction is well underway and we're busy planning for all the move and everything that will happen that comes along with it. And we're looking forward to possibilities that our new space will provide us, such as hosting another mud ball and everything that can happen for the artists, teachers, and supporters of the Clay Studio. So as we close tonight's mud ball, I again want to thank you all for supporting us tonight. And we look forward to seeing everyone next year for Mud Ball 2021. So raising a glass to next year in Kensington. So Jay-Z and Jen, thanks for a great night, and back to you.
Thank you. Thank you
Here's my
so much,
glass.
Sergio, and everyone else for joining us tonight. Sergio, I just have to say, we truly appreciate everything that you've done, your hard work. You know, you're an architect, if everyone doesn't already know that, and just your input into planning our new home is just greatly appreciated. And I'm so thankful for the board. I know the staff feels the same way, and all the work that the board has done. We really have a special team between the board and the staff, and I'm just looking forward to the future.
Absolutely. Here's to that. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
I'd like to say, as we're closing out tonight, a thanks to all of you, our attendees, our bidders, our watchers, and our donors. A very special thanks to Nadia Coltsu, my partner in planning for this mud ball. I couldn't do it without her. Our backstage crew of Dominique Ellis, Megan Lassiter, Raymond Mork, and Shannon Jones really helped make the event what it was tonight. And a huge, huge thank to our technical crew, Nick Justice of Watch Me Rise Film and Graham Nolte of Stream Philly, because without them, you still wouldn't be hearing me talk. Thank you once again to our sponsors, and good night to everyone. Please remember, keep bidding and donating until 9 o'clock.
Another huge thanks to all of our artists who donated work. Your generosity is deeply appreciated. Bidders have until 9 p.m. to make sure they get the works they want.
And my heartfelt thanks to our amazing staff who work so hard every day to keep providing a place where people are inspired. We could not have presented this fun event tonight without each and every staff member's positivity and hard work.
Good night to our Facebook and YouTube watchers. Zoom ticket holders can stick around and chat for a few more minutes. And now a toast to you all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good night.
I thought that went really, really well.
How do I unmute? There you go. Yes, it was great.
Yeah.
Amy, you got that, all those bowls.
Claire, you got something.
All the mugs. And who's voting on Roberto Lugo?
Well, I did, but I haven't, I'm not the winner right now.
Yeah, we're looking at it.
I don't know.
Who is?
Well, now
Anybody
it's like Zoom.
there?
We don't have to look at the right
Thank you guys so much.
Hi, Kathy.
There's Jill. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
Hi. Dennis.
Good job, Jen and Jennifer.
Great.
It was really great.
You did a great job, guys.